What's up, math fans? Today we're going to learn about equations of circles, okay? I've been talking about circles so much, but now I want to take a circle and actually put it on a graph. And if you think about a graph has points. A coordinate plane has points. There's your x and your y. So if you take a look at this, all right, I want to just explain this before we get into the practice problems. If you take a look at this, you're going to see a green point, a black point, a red point, another black point, another green point. Just random points on the graph. I would like you to think about the distance this green point is away from the origin. The origin is 0, 0. How far away is this from here? So it's as simple as counting boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away. Remember that. It's 5 units away. How about this green dot down here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 5 units away. How about this black dot over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away. How about this red dot? You can't count boxes if it's on a diagonal. How about this black dot here? Again, you can't count boxes if it's on a diagonal. So it's not that easy. So what I would do is I would connect from here 0, 0, because that was my original question. How far away is the point from 0, 0? I'm going to connect it to my given point, and I gave you the coordinates. It's actually 4, 3. So I basically am asking you, how long is this black line? And again, you cannot count on a diagonal. So what did you learn to do? Something called the distance formula, but I'm not going to use the distance formula here. I'm going to use something else, which is the distance formula's grandfather. It's called the Pythagorean Theorem. So here's some facts that you should know before you even see this video. This is my other video on Pythagorean Theorem, which says a squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right? If you're not sure, go back and do some practice problems. Again, it's pronounced Pythagorean Theorem. I have fun listening to people try to pronounce that. Now, for this video, the center of my circle is always 0, 0. There's another video where the center is not 0, 0, but for this one, if you take a look, the center is at 0, 0. It is possible to pick up the circle and move it, but this is the most basic idea, so we're going to start basic first. And you should know that a circle equation is exactly like the Pythagorean Theorem, except instead of a squared and b squared equals c squared, you got x squared, y squared, and r squared. So let me explain. So how do I find the length of this diagonal line? What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a line, a vertical line straight down, and I've created a right triangle. And now I need the length of the hypotenuse. That's unknown. Do you know the base? Sure you do. Just count boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, you knew that because I said x was 4 right here. Do you know the height? Sure you do. Count boxes. 1, 2, 3. How'd you know? Oh, it says right here, y is 3. So if the base is 4 and the height is 3, I need the hypotenuse now. Pythagorean Theorem says 4 squared plus 3 squared equals the unknown squared. I can call that x, I can call it y, I can call it question mark. I'm going to call it r. R squared. And you're going to see why I called it r, because it's actually considered r. It's considered the radius of my circle. You'll see why. So what is it? 16 plus 9 equals r squared. So what is that? 25 equals r squared. Hopefully you know, take the square root of both sides, and r equals 5. So my hypotenuse, I hope you can see that, is 5. My hypotenuse is 5. Now why am I calling it r? Why am I saying it's the radius? Because, what did I say a minute ago? From here to the green dot is 5. From here to the black dot is 5. If you do what I just did with the red dot on purpose, I also made that, at 3, 4, so that my radius again could be 5. From here to here is 5. So really I just put a bunch of points in a perfect circle, okay? And I cheated when I did that. If you have a compass at home, I suggest you use the compass. There's another way to do it. We used to kind of get a string. It's a fake compass, and you would attach the marker to one end of the string and hold the other end of the string at the center, and you would just go around like that. So you would see that my radius is always 5. So the definition of a radius is from the center of your circle, which in this video is always 0, 0, to any point on the circle. From here to here is 5, from here to here is 5, from here to up here is 5, from here to here would be 5. Okay, the distance is 5, from here to here is 5, from here down there is 5. So we know our radius is 5, that's why I used r here. So the hypotenuse of the triangle is really just the same as the radius. That's why your formula is x squared plus y squared equals r squared, because here's my x, which was 4. Here's my y, which was 3. And then my hypotenuse was also my radius. So this shows you why this is the equation for a circle. Okay? Only when the center is 0, 0. So basically the equation of a circle is the same thing as the Pythagorean theorem. As long as you can remember that, you'll remember equation of a circle. Okay? Now, so if you get this and they say find the radius, looking at this, you know you're looking at x squared plus y squared equals r squared. You're looking at x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So you're looking at an equation of a circle. You know that if you took this and put it on a graph, it would be a circle. And you know the center would be at 0, 0. You just have to find the radius. So you would say, well, this is already x squared, this is already y squared, so I guess my 50 is the r squared. So I would say r squared equals 50. You build yourself an equation and you solve for r. How do you solve for r? Same way you did here, take the square root of both sides. So if you get a calculator, you'll get some decimal, right? But you're good at algebra, so we're not going to do calculator. We're going to do this. R equals square root of 50. R equals square root of 25 times 2, right? Radical 25 times radical 2 is really radical 50. Remember this? It's called simplest radical form. So R equals, why did I use 25 and 2 instead of 10 and 5? Because I needed to break this down. I needed to factor the 50, where one of my factors is a perfect square. So that's 5 radical 2. And that is my radius, 5 radical 2. Okay? Practice again. Now you want me to actually graph it. So you look at this thing and you say, oh, I see an x squared and I see a y squared. I know I'm looking at a circle. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. So I need 2 facts about a circle. 2 things we need to know in order to graph. One is you need the center. And if you see x squared and y squared alone like that, you know the center is 0, 0. And the other thing you need is the radius. So take a guess what you think the radius is, okay? I'm going to erase this real quick here. Don't worry, I didn't leave you. So take a guess what you think the radius is. Well, let's see. R squared, here, R squared is 36 this time. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides, and r equals 6. Much easier. I know it's a perfect square. I don't have to simplify any further. R is 6. You know your center, you know your radius. Graph it. They asked you to graph it. Graph it. So I'm going to make a graph. My center is here. My radius is 6. What did we say the radius is? The distance from the center to anywhere on the circle. So you get your compass. You measure out to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a point there. Then when you swing, you got your circle. If you don't have a compass and you have to just cheat and sketch it, this is how I cheat. I go 6 to the right, 6 up, 6 to the left, 6 down, and then I sketch my circle. And I missed. But it's just a sketch. Doesn't have to be perfect, and there you go. So how does your teacher know? They just count the radius and they see you knew exactly what you were doing. Okay? Last one. Now we're going backwards. They give you the picture, you write the equation. So right away, you know it's a circle, you know it's going to look like x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So I'm going to write this down to remind myself. Now, do I need to plug in for x and y? No, it always stays x and y. X and y are just points on the circle itself. I just need the radius. So x squared plus y squared equals, well, what's the radius here? 1, 2, 3. So people write 3. Don't forget to write 3 squared, and you're done. If it's multiple choice and you don't see 3 squared, you might see a 9, and that is it. It was easy because the center is 0, 0. Stick around when the center is not 0, 0. Thanks for watching. See ya.